Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, I know, but as you guys know, I am a full-time mommy, I am a full-time employee, and I am on the daily grind all day, every day, and I found time today to film this tutorial for you guys. I was inspired by going through these new Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows that I just received today, and I knew I just had to film something for you guys and put something out there for the month of December because this is one of my favorite months. I am a winter lover. I hate summer, although my birthday is in July and I am a Cancer. I cannot stand the heat. So right now is the perfect time to film and just be re-inspired and just put something out there for you guys. Now I can't commit to saying that I'm going to be putting out videos every week or even any additional videos this month, as it's really hard for me to find time to film, but I try. So please forgive me. I will try once a week at least to put a video out, at least for the month of December, so that you guys can see the variations of holiday looks. So without any further ado, and I'm gonna get to my hair really quick. I did dye my hair black. It is blue black. I was getting some questions on Instagram about the color of my hair, and I did color it myself. I did use just cream colors and mixed it with developer and went ahead and just went ham on my hair and dyed it black. I couldn't be dealing with no roots and none of this and none of that. I just was tired of it. I couldn't find a good match for blonde extensions and whatnot, so I just decided to go black, and it was the best thing I ever did. So without carrying on about that, I am so happy to be back. I am so happy to put this out there for you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoy the look that I created for you guys. So without any further ado, let's get to the video, and I just want to tell you guys thank you so much and I love you. Mwah. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So first off, what I'm going to start with is my foundation. Now I went ahead and already primed my face. I used the Benefit Porefessional. I do have the mini travel size, but I just didn't feel like that was needed to be included into this video, so I went ahead and just did that before filming. Now the foundation that I'm going to be using, as you guys can see, my rosacea is really flared up right here in this area, on the cheek area. So it actually comes across a little bit more red on camera than it is actually in person. So I do, as you guys know, always use a full coverage foundation. So what I'm going to be doing is mixing two foundations. Now this first one is the Infallible Pro Matte by L'Oreal, and this is in the shade Classic Ivory, and it's shade 101. And then I'm going to be mixing that with a little bit of the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation in the shade Light 44. So as you guys know, I am pretty fair. Even these foundations honestly are a little bit dark on me still, so I'm still trying to find that perfect foundation for my skin tone. But I swear, if they come out with like a white foundation, I'm gonna have to use that because nothing works for me. I have to mix two different colors, and these are the lightest shades that these two foundations come in. So I'm just going to get a little bit of the L'Oreal Pro Matte on my finger, and I'm just going to dot it all over my face. Then I'm just going to be getting a little bit of the Kat Von D and dot that just randomly all over my face. Now this is how I do my foundation. I'm not saying you have to do yours this way. You could easily mix these two. But I don't like to use the back of my hand or a palette when I'm doing my makeup for every day. So this is pretty much what I do. And it looks like a lot of foundation, but really it's not. I'm just using a little bit, but pretty much dabbing it all over the face. That way I don't have to use an extra pump. So with my beauty blender, it's damp. I'm going to be just working that all over the face. So next what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my Anastasia DipBrow Pomade in Soft Brown, and I'm going to be using the MAC 263 angle brush. Okay, so with the angle brush, I'm just basically going to put the angle point tip facing down, and then I'm going to start at the base and just start carrying the product upward. and I'm just doing light strokes. And then my hairs go this way, so I'm just gonna turn my brush and start to comb this way downward. And then just a few little wispy strokes. So now I'm just gonna get a bit of concealer and a flat shader brush to clean up the bottom of the brow. Now the concealer I'm gonna be using is the NC15 MAC Studio Finish Concealer. And I'm just gonna be getting a little bit and cleaning up the brow under. So getting my brush, I'm just gonna start at the base and work my way down. And then just drag. Again, just bringing down the concealer. I'm basically going to be using the concealer as a base for my shadows. This is completely optional. You can always use an eyeshadow base. Me, I personally don't have oily skin, so my eyelids tend to not crease as much, so concealer is just fine. Okay, brows are done. So next, what we're gonna be doing is going in with the eyeshadow. Now the palette I'm gonna be using today is my Morphe 35O palette. This one has been flying off the shelves as of lately, so I'm not sure on the stock of these palettes. I do know that they are available in store as well online, but you know, you definitely want to inquire with the store to make sure that they're still available if you're looking to get this palette. It is definitely a must-have palette. It's perfect for all year long, and these colors are amazing. You get everything that you need in one palette, and I absolutely love it. Now the shade I'm going to be using right now to set the concealer underneath my eyebrows is going to be this light bone color shade here. So I'm just going to be getting a little bit on a fluffy brush and just applying it lightly right underneath the brows. Next, with a MAC 224 brush, I'm going to be applying a soft brown shade, which is going to be this one right here. So I'm just going to dust that one lightly, and I'm going to be using it as my transition color. So I'm just going to start here in this outer corner and kind of work the shadow inward. Next, I'm going to be using my MAC 217 brush, and I'm just going to be applying this middle shade. It's kind of like a rusty brown color, kind of similar to Roll by MAC, and I'm going to be applying this in the crease. So I'm going to start at the outer corner and kind of just start bringing that inward. Now with the small shader brush, I'm going to be going in with this dark color here on the bottom, and I'm going to be working that on the outer corner as well. Now starting on the outer corner again, I'm just going to basically do a V formation and just kind of work that outwards. Now the eyeshadow that I'm going to be applying to the lid is from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Henna. Now this one I just got as an eyeshadow single from the fall collection. can't open it. And it is beautiful. You see that? So pretty. So I'm just going to be applying this to the lid in the inner corner and the center of the eye. So I'm going to be getting a flat brush. This one is from Sofi Cosmetics. This one is number 100. And it's just a flat, thin shader brush. And building up that color. And with that 217, no additional product, I'm pretty much just cleaning up that outer edge and blending it in. And I'll bring you guys in so you guys can see it just a little bit better. Next, I'm going to be going in with concealer and finishing up my face. So the concealer that I'm going to be using under my eyes is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous concealer in the shade Fair, which is probably my skin color. Now with my Damn Beauty Blender, I'm just basically going to work that around and blend it in. Next, I'm going to be setting my foundation with my MAC Studio Fix powder in NC15. And just using a regular fluffy brush. This one is my MAC 120, I believe. And I'm going to start under the eyes just by setting that concealer. And then just work it around the face. Next for contouring, I'm going to be using my LA Girl Blush Collection. This is the Beauty Brick, and this one is in the shade Glam. And I'm going to be using this shade right here. And the brush I'm going to be using is from Sedona Lace, and this is the best brush for contouring. And with this one, this fan brush, it's so fluffy and pretty. It pretty much just buffs out that bronzer all over your face. So, and it pretty much just hollows out that area right here in the hollows of the cheeks, and it just gives you that really good bone structure. So you guys will see what I'm talking about in a minute. So just getting a little bit on my brush and dusting off the excess. I'm gonna start here in the hollow of my cheek. And you can see that a little bit of product goes a long way, and I'm just gonna keep blending. Next is blush, and the blush that I'm going to be using is a Fresh blush in this shade Dreamsicle, and this is from Motives Cosmetics. It's kind of like a peachy tone. A dupe for this one would probably be Peachy Keen from MAC. And I'm just going to get a little bit on my brush and just apply it to my cheekbones. Now going back to the eyes, I'm going to be applying a liquid liner. This one is from NYC, and it's just the jet black liquid liner, and it does dry matte, which is why it's one of my favorites. So I'm just going to apply a little bit to the outer corner. I don't really want a too intense wing because I really want the focus to be on the shadows. So I'm basically just going to apply this liner to cover up the lash band when I apply my falsies. So I'm going to start in the outer corner, and I'm just going to create a small wing and then just carry it inward. Now for lashes, I'm going to be using my KoKo lashes in Goddess. And these are dupes for the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes. But they are way cheaper. I believe these ones are $7.99. But a lot of the time they're sold out, so you definitely want to keep checking on the website. But they are the bomb. Next with this one. Now next I'm going to be using my MAC pencil in, what is this? This is an Kohl in Costa Riche. Costa Riche is seriously my favorite go-to eyeliner, especially for the waterline, just because I feel like being so fair, black is a little bit too intense for me sometimes. So I'm going to be going in with this little pencil. You guys can see how much I use it. And I'm just going to be applying that to the lash line as well as the waterline. And then we're going to be smoking that out with a soft brown shadow as well. So just applying. Now with a small shader brush, I'm going to be going back into my Morphe palette, and I'm going to be using this shade here in the middle. That one that I compared to Max Rule eyeshadow. I'm just going to get a little bit on my brush and tap off the excess, and then I'm going to start working out that eyeliner on the bottom. So just gently brushing and working the liner all the way across the lash line, and then kind of bringing it downward to where you have that gradient look. Okay guys, so now that the eyes are done, I'm gonna get back to the face, and my favorite part, aside from applying lashes, is the highlight. So what I'm going to be using is my other Sedona Lace fan brush, because I do have two. So this one I use for my highlight, and then I have the other one obviously for applying my contour. So this one again is the Sedona Lace FB 01, and I do have a coupon code that I will include in the bottom bar. Now the highlighter that I'm going to be using is the Anastasia highlighter in So Hollywood. As you guys can see, I have been putting this baby to work. So I'm just going to get a little bit and just apply it onto the side of the brush, and then I'm just gonna go in. So just applying that to the high points of the face, on the cheekbone, now onto the other cheek, now for me, you can never apply too much highlight, so to each their own. You know, you can definitely put a light dust on the cheeks if that's what you like, but me, I like a really intense highlight. So I tend to do at least 2 or 3 coats, and I pretty much just fan it back and forth. And And I'm just gonna apply a little bit to my nose. Now getting into lips, I'm going to be applying MAC's Fleshpot Lipstick. Now this is a satin. It is a dupe, not really a dupe. It's pretty much very similar to MAC's Myth lipstick. Myth, however, is a matte lipstick. So if you want something that has a little bit of a sheen to it, a little bit more of a glossy feel, then Fleshpot would be your next choice. So I'm just going to apply a light coat. Now I'm going to be topping my lipstick with the Anastasia lip gloss in Dainty. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of that. And now topping that with Anastasia's lip gloss in Sunset Strip, and it's just gonna add a little bit of a glisten. So this is our final look. I'm really happy with the way that this came out. I was really excited to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows that just came out. They are amazing, just like everything else that she puts out. It's beautiful. Her eyeshadow singles are so affordable. And I wanted to show you guys the flyer that came with the products. And it basically looks like this. And the backside has kind of where you can see the colors and the shades. And then here it says that they are $12 each. You can get 4 for $40 or 8 for $70. So that's definitely a good deal. I will include links to all the products used in the description box, as well as a coupon code for the brushes for Sedona Lace as well. So you guys can save a little bit of money on that if you guys are interested in the fan brush that I love so much. So thank you guys so much for your support. And like I said, I will see you guys again soon.